Give it another 30 seconds so we'll get started. Just wanted to update everybody on the Legends Sim League uniforms. I did do a lot of tweaking to mostly the helmets, but a couple other areas for some teams, but not very much other than the helmets. So we're going to go through and look at the uniforms again, like we did the last video for this one, and give you guys a look at the updated versions. Changed a few of them to matte, and then some of them to some chrome looks. And then the ones that have helmet options in the list to be toggled, some of those have alternate helmets as well, but they aren't part of the uniform sets. So if we feel like it at some point, we can throw those in on some of the teams, but some of them do have multiple options for the uniform sets, which we'll see because we'll go through all 6 for each team here when we get started. And I talked long enough for us to be 2.5 minutes in, so we're going to go ahead and get this going. Actually, I got a text here. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's get started here. Again, this is the Louisville Luck, and they have we've got the gold mirrored with the green logo and stripe that are also mirrored, and then the outlines are not mirrored on this one, so that they stand out a little bit more and separate the colors. And then we have a green version of that with the gold clover and stripe. And then we have, let's say, a white version, which is actually silver. And then the yellow stripes, which are not mirrored. But I think they came out pretty well. I like pretty much all of them, and they look even better on the field. I don't know what they've done with the lighting in here differently than on the field, but it does look a little different for some reason. Maybe that they don't move and change the angle of the lighting could be part of it. I don't know for sure, but and then if we go through here, there might be, yeah, there's some other versions. That was the original before it was mirrored. So technically we could pick that in a game too if we want to customize one of the things. And then there's a little darker color to it. And then there's the white one. Back to gold. And there's the silver. There's the green before it was mirrored. And then there's the green mirrored. And the gold mirrored is the current. So that's what we got on the Louisville Luck. So still working on the rosters. Kind of got tournaments going on right now, so I haven't been able to do a whole lot on them, but done a little bit. And then next we have the Cincinnati Bengals, which are the Memphis Mustangs in the franchise. And these guys are pretty straightforward. I think I just did an opposite color. Yeah, just a color rush red. And then back to the gray again. I don't believe I did any variations for these guys. Yeah, they just had the two, the red and the gray. So I did not do anything for them. Then we have the Hawaii Pegasus. Now we did a color change for these guys. In the other video you'll notice that they were dark green, or bright green and dark gray, which I have a team later that's the New Jersey Stalkers, which are black and bright green. So I wanted to vary the colors, and I didn't have anybody that really had a purple. I have a washed out purple team in the San Quentin Convicts, which you'll see later, but I wanted something with a bright purple. So we went mirrored on this one for the logo, which is the wing, and that ear hole is kind of in the way. There's another piece of the wing there, but again, on the field it looks a little bit better than here. And then we did the opposite for the purple. They're not quite mirrored. I think the shell actually is not mirrored. I think it's just glossy. And then I think the logo is mirrored. Or they might just both be really glossy. It's hard to tell from these ones. But that's the kind of look I went with for them. And then again, if we flip through here, we got a matte version. So we have some options if we want to pull out different looks. There might be a gray version of that. Yeah, there's gray and purple matte in here. I was going to go matte with these guys, but didn't quite look right to me, so I went with the mirrored instead, or the glossy. It doesn't look terrible, I guess, but not quite the look I wanted for them. Here we have the San Quentin Convicts, and these guys, I don't believe I changed anything for them because I actually like their helmet there. And then we have a white version for the color rush. And then back to the silver on the alternates. I don't think I have any other variations for them, but I could be wrong. I mean, there's a gray, but it's not quite the same look as the other one, so you have that option as well. And then that's the main one. So then we have the London Wolfpack, and we played around with these guys a little bit. Didn't really do much except for the alternates. We went to a little bit of a mirrored look, which made it actually kind of wash out a little bit and turn to a metallic, almost like a black, where it depends on which direction the sun is hitting it on what color you see, because it could be almost a metal color. But I don't believe I did any other variations than that for these guys. Could be something left over for... No, that's all we did for them. Then we have the I believe it's the Las Vegas Gamblers. And I didn't change anything for these guys because I like the way they were before. So they just have the one helmet across. And then if they have options down here where I don't have anything other than that, and that's a little bit different look, but not much, I can also go in and do some other variations of the helmets and then load them up into those spots if I need to. If I come up with ideas, that's always a possibility. Salt Lake City Snipers, we did add a little bit of red to these guys. We left the numbers without the outline, but the stripes on the helmet, sleeves, and pants, and then the logo. Also, this logo changed. It was a bullet hole, but it didn't really show up that well, so we changed it to the actual sniper gun. And then their other version is the logo, the skull logo with the scope sight on it, on that one of the eyes. So we went with that, and then it goes back to, like every other one for these guys, is, so depending on whether they're home or away, that would depend on what helmet you get. And then we have the white version of each, and of the gun, and then the green version of the logo. And then I think if we go down here, and we might see both versions of each. Yeah, so there's the white of the logo, And there's the green of the gun. So you have options for these guys. And then on to the, this is the Alcatraz Inmates. And we didn't change anything for these guys because I already like the way they look. And they have white away helmets with just the inverse of the colors. So we didn't change anything for these guys. So we're pretty satisfied with their look. And then I don't know if there's any. No, it doesn't look like there's any other options in there just yet. Alright, then we have the Georgia Jacks. I don't believe we have any, at least not in the set, so we don't have any alterations. I think it's just the one helmet. I was pretty happy with that. We might do a matte version at some point, see how it looks. If it's not, yeah, it's not already in there. Then we have the, I think I said Leesburg Lightning on the last video for these guys. It's actually the Little Rock Lightning. I think all we did here was gloss the helmets up. I don't think they were quite as shiny before. But I think with the reflection, it kind of, I don't know, for me it kind of makes the lightning pieces light up a little bit, which is kind of cool. I don't think I changed them from the other video other than that. But I do think there are a couple of, there might be a couple of versions in here possibly. I did have a navy blue. See, there's one without quite as much shine and it has just a big blue stripe. Might put that with a color rush or something. There's one without quite as much shine on it. And then the shiny one. And that actually reflects pretty good on the field. So I actually like that one too, though. It stands out pretty good. Don't mind any of those, to be honest. Alright, next we have the Wessex Warriors. And these guys, I don't think I did anything to their helmet. And I don't think there's any... Well, you have the shading, like that's shaded pretty well. And then you go back to... That one is pretty white, so I think there's that option. Not quite sure that one helmet's the only one that's that way. I may have to look at that. And then if we come, I might have been messing with something, making it mirrored or whatever to see what it looked like. So there's the all white, and then you got the shaded one. So it looks like that's the only variation. So I may have to go in and check that, see if I want to make that all the same one. Pardon me. Alright, then we have the UK Cannabis. We've changed them to a matte helmet, so there's no gloss on it. And then the green one is also matte now. I believe before it had some shine on it. And then they shine, yeah, there's a little shine on that one. So you can still pick ones that have a little bit of reflectance. And I didn't do anything to that helmet, so I don't know what that is, like why it's washed out like that. I might actually look at that on the field though, just to see what it looks like, because it's kind of cool looking, to be honest. And then that's all the variations there. So we may come back to that. Actually, let me flip over here real quick, and so we can start a game when we're done. I can just flip to that helmet. And then that's all set. So next we have the Fayetteville Flood. We went and made these a little bit more silver. Where the white's at on the helmet. think we changed anything other than that. But I don't. Yeah, there it is. The alternate has it's almost a pearl silver kind of color. A little bit different than the other ones, but not much. It's kind of more reflective on the field than the other one. And then we have the white options also in here that we can pick if we want to. And then we have the New Jersey Night Stalkers. We went ahead and made them matte as well. And then you have the green version, also matte. And then they may have some also that are glossy. Yeah, there's one. So we can do that if we feel the need to have some shine on one. Don't know if the green version doesn't have it. But we can always add that later if we want to. These guys, we went to a mirrored look on their default ones. So this actually, the sun shines off of that dragon and lights it up pretty good on the field. And then the rest of the 4 we just left as the glossy color stuff, so you can see the dragon a little more prominently this way, but it does light up pretty good on the field with these, so you can still see it pretty well. I don't think there are any other variations that are, yeah, that's it. There's only 3 choices for these guys. So you could do one other one if I wanted to, but I don't know what I would do with it. I don't think I really want to make one that's matte, but we'll see. Maybe someday. I didn't change these guys at all because I was pretty happy with their helmets. Really like the red ones, to be honest. The extra glossy makes them pop on the field. Don't think there's any variations in here that I knows. No. Just those. And that was the, did I say the names of these? This is the Dover Dragons. I don't think I said them. New Jersey Night Stalkers. Davenport Demons. And then we have the Honolulu Sharks, I believe it is. And all we did to these guys, they were kind of a darker teal. Darker teal and white. And I think we already had like a darker teal team. So we changed the color a little bit. It's really close to the Miami blue, but not quite. I think it's a little darker than that. And then we added the red in. I only have the variation of the different color for the color rush for these guys. I don't think there's anything else in here. Well, it's shaded a little different. That's about it. Oh, there's a silver one. We might pick that one time and see what it looks like on the field. But I guess it gives us a little bit of variation there. That's just a happy accident. I didn't do anything to change that. It just kind of is that way. I don't, oh, maybe I did. I don't remember it if I did. Alright, on to the Columbus Commandos. And I didn't change anything for these guys. They were already matte and camo on the helmets. And I'm sure I'm missing the little tweaks of the uniforms that I did, but most of my focus was on what we were doing with the helmets and or adding some colors like I did with the reds to the snipers and the sharks. I'm not positively sold on the sharks yet. I may change that to man-eaters. I'm not positive of that yet. Only because I have a San Jose man-eaters with the same color scheme in my Super Mega Baseball game. which may be seen at some point if we ever get to start our Super Mega Baseball League, Sim League. I don't believe these guys, they might have a shiny. Yeah, there's a shiny, but I didn't think it looked quite right with a shiny, so we made it matte. There's a little bit different shine on that one. But I think these look much better as a matte helmet, so that's what we went with in the uniform schemes. But we do have options if we ever want to change it up at some point. We have the Dayton Dog Pound, and so what we did here was we changed the helmet logos to be mirrored white, and they were orange before, but what I did was a double outline of orange and then maroon, kind of the throwback on the old Tampa Bay colors, creamsicles if you will. And then the stripe bones we also made mirrored on these, and that's going to be, I think it's the helmet across the board as the default. And then I believe there'll be some options in here if you, well, there's a white on white, not really mirrored so much on that one. That's odd. I must have loaded them into all of them. I thought I had some other options in there. But that's always, doable if we want to do that later. Edmonton Avalanche, I did not do anything with them. I just left them as a shiny. I'm not sure if I want to change it or not. And I do believe, other than changing the colors to the opposite, I think that's the only variations we have for these guys. Actually, we have a white with white face mask there, which is also an accident. I don't remember doing that. And then we got the purple face mask. It looks like we went with the white face mask on here. Interesting. They're all white except that one. And then the purple is purple. I have to look into that as well. Didn't notice that before. I don't mind it, but if you're gonna have the purple face mask on the home, then you should have the white face mask there, right? At least that's the way I think about it anyway. Anyway, I don't think I have any other variations in here other than face mask color. Oh, I don't have a purple one with a white face mask. I may have to go in and change that so they're all white with white. Alright, here we have the Knoxville Knights, and I don't think I did anything. No, I didn't do anything with them. I think their color scheme is, and glossy helmet is fine. I don't think there's any variations. I haven't figured out why that's coming up with no name there, but it doesn't look any different, so. Everything I looked at in the menu was labeled, so I don't know why that's glitching out, but. Here we have the DC Spirit. I did not change anything for them. I'm pretty happy with their scheme and look. And they have the same helmet across all of this. They might have some shading options in here. Maybe. Don't really remember. Nope, guess not. Looks like they got one of choice across the board for now. Locos, I did kind of mirror their helmets a little bit more. They were just a solid gray before. But I like it, I think, more so this way because it makes the logo stands out more, I think. And then I believe it's the same look across the Same helmet across the board there. And I think we have options for not being metallic looking. So there's a little bit less on that. Not quite the gray, but it's close. So, got one option on them. And that was the Orlando Locos. Next we have the Oklahoma City Slaughter. I did not change them. I'm pretty happy with the way they're looking. Kind of a throwback to the Oilers. I don't think there's anything in here. A little bit of shading here and there, but very minute. Alright, next we have the Toronto Canadiens. There's no change here because as you can see, there's no helmet options. They get one helmet. So we went with white on red, or red on white, I should say. Not that awake. Didn't get home till really early this morning after a tournament last night, so I'm a little lacking for sleep today. But that's the only one helmet that these guys have the option for, so that's all they got. Next we have the Topeka Twisters. And I don't think I did anything with these guys. I think I just have the yellow shiny a little bit. I think that's the only option we got on the unis. And it looks as though that's the case. Let's see if they got any options here if we fill. There's one that's kind of looks almost matte compared to the other one. There's a glossy one. Looks like what we had before though. Yeah, it's the one matte option. Looks like that's all we got there. Next we got the Grand Rapids Grizzlies. We only changed the alternate uniform helmets for these guys. So we got the standard little bit of gloss. And that's across the first 4 uniforms. And then the alternates we went with almost like a satin blue and then a mirrored stripe and logo. And we might play these guys against the Cannabis. So you guys can see these helmets. These are pretty cool. And that's on the away as well. And let's see if there's any other looks here. Nope, that's all we got on them. But again, that last look is pretty cool looking. Tortugas, Tijuana Tortugas, we did not change any, I don't believe. They do have a green option that was already in there for their color rush. And then back to the orange. I don't think there's anything else in here. Well, there's a shading option, it looks like. Yeah, shading option on the orange. I don't really see that for the green, though. Alright, this is the Anchorage Armageddon, and they have the normal helmet as well. And I think on the Color Rush we did them kind of like we did the Grizzlies, but I think we did. Oh, hey, Dwayne. It's not. I was killing time until you got home. As soon as I get done doing this stream, I'll jump on. So we got the normal, and then we got their mirrored. And it actually looks pretty good on the field as well. this high glossy helmet, and then really mirrored the logo and the stripe. And I think that's the only options we have for these guys. Yeah, that's all we got for the Armageddon. We have the Atlantic City Aces. They only have the one helmet, so we did kind of a almost a washed out look, because they look a little black, but they're actually gray. And this kind of turned the helmet and the logo gray, and then left the outline normal. It's kind of like the sticker. So those turned out pretty well, I thought, as well. I like that look. But that's the only ones they have. And then we went with, we got the Des Moines Doom. We didn't do anything to these guys, but they might have a washed out option in the menu. And then they have the green and the black different helmets. I don't think we have a washed out or a matte. Not washed out. A matte version is what I was thinking of, but no, we don't. Might add that at some point, but I doubt it. And the last team we have is the New Orleans. No, it's not the New Orleans. It's the Nashville Nukes. My bad. And these guys were already satin with the glossy sticker, and we didn't change that. So I pretty much like the look of that. So that's all we got there. And then we'll go back to let's go back to the Grizzlies, and we'll start a game here. We won't finish it, but we'll start it so you can see what some of this stuff looks like. Now I will say, if you notice, not them, but when you see the teams like 96 overall there, and you got Tom Brady, Wendell Tyler, LaDainian Tomlinson, Jimmy Graham, Evan Ingram, Jerry Smith. These are the updated roster teams from the legends that we're putting in. There you got Jim Brown, Reggie Nelson, Ted Hendricks. Now the Saints were rated 90 overall in this game, so that's why they already say 90. They haven't been edited yet. I think the lowest, there's the Chargers. They got Gronkowski, Bruce Smith, Dan Marino. So not as many teams as I'd like to have done, to be honest. And there you got the Dover Dragons, Shannon Sharp, Eric Weddle, Sam Mills, Rashad Jones, Russ Francis, Joe Montana, Lawrence Taylor, John Elway, Johnny Johnson, Jack Tatum, Corey Dillon, Mark Pavaro, Travis Kelce, Owen Daniels, and Aaron Rodgers. These are the guys I'm working on. I think I have 4 players left to do on them. And then here you got Chris Cooley, Christian Okoye, Steve Atwater. So a few teams done, not near as many as I'd like. Again, those guys aren't done. They just are rated pretty high. So we go back to this uniform. Oh wow, I kept it. I'll be darned. Alright, so then we'll start this game so you guys can see these. I want to take a look at that canvas helmet, see what that looks like, and then you guys can see this, how this Grizzly helmet looks on the field. I'll give it a few plays and then we'll kill it. Then we'll be off to kill some bots. Alright, don't need that right now.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from the...
Yeah, the audio's a little choppy. I have to go in and change the priority to get it to not do that, but since I'm only doing a few plays, I'm not going to go fix it. And I don't know what it's going to say in the franchise, but it does change the names when you're in the franchise. So it won't say the Saints or any of that. But I don't know what it will say. It might say home team and away team or visiting team or something. I don't know. Yeah, trying to get a look at the cannabis helmets there. They're ones that I didn't really design. They just turned out that way.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. He's brought down after a very nice game. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Anyway, I like the way these helmets turned out for the Grizzlies. And then you have the basic ones also available.
Tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Is it just... Yeah, it's almost like just the... Well, I guess it's kind of like the... I guess it's kind of like the logo and the stripe are mirrored, and it just kind of depends on the angle you're at. Some angles it looks washed out, and other angles it looks fine.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early.
I don't know if I'd want to use it per se as an actual uniform set, but I don't hate it for throwing it in every now and then, though. Not that bad.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Breeze. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Nice methodical opening drive here.
I'd like to get a better look at it, but I don't know if I'll get... Well, there's a pretty good look at it.
Take a shot in this part of the field, but at the same time, as methodical as they've been,
Well, it almost seems like the shell might be shiny enough as well that it's just overpowering the logo.
To throw again on 2nd down. Breeze. And Thomas has it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
his passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation,
Almost like the
really condensed, partner.
metal flake level is way high or something.
Ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. This is caught. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
Come on, I want to see the other one.
Gain of 6, 2nd and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves, and it's
Wow, and nobody tackle on that defense? Holy crap. Alright, we'll go ahead and end it there. I don't hate that helmet. I don't think I'm going to move it into any of the... uniform sets, but I wouldn't put it past me to pick it throughout the season at some point if we ever get to that. So I'm going to end the stream there, and I'll be jumping into Fortnite, and hopefully Dwayne will be there as well. I appreciate you guys checking this out. We'll talk at you later. Peace.